everybody be wondering, why does Councillor Horvis look like he's in La La Land? He's
Top right-hand corner, David. Where it says, do you want to know more about the picture? Okay, we're good. Okay, good morning, everyone. It is 9:35, and I'd like to call the meeting to order today. And the first thing on our agenda is the adoption of the agenda for today. But before that, I'd like to say that all members of council are present, with the exception of Councillor Strang, who will be here shortly. And we have our CAO and our assistant with us today, so if we could have the resolution to adopt the agenda, please.
Resolved, the agenda for the meeting be adopted as circulated.
Moved by Councillor Bazarowitz, second Councillor Boulanger. Any discussion on the agenda, any additions, deletions to the agenda for today? Not seeing any hands go up, so I will call the question. All in favor? Opposed? And that is carried. We have two sets of minutes for today. We have the May 28th Committee of the Whole meeting and the May 28th regular council meeting. And if I could have the resolution for those, please.
Resolved, the minutes of the May 28, 2024 regular meeting of council and the committee of whole be adopted as presented.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Sutherland, second Councillor Horvis. Any discussion? Corrections, changes to the minutes? Hearing and seeing none, I will call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay, we do not have any delegations today, so we'll move down to communications for action. And the first one we have is the Gordon Howard Center Lunch and Learn, and that's to do with the, I can never remember the name of the program that they're wanting to push forward. It's a community conversation about their new building. In any event, Deepak, you want to just fill us in a little bit what's going on there?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. This is a community conversation about the new building. What they want to do is do a further public consultation as part of their program to determine what are the needs of the community. And they've invited members of council. It will be held on Wednesday, June 26th, like lunch. When we provide it, starts at 11:30 a.m. and the meeting will start from 12 to 1 p.m. And it'll be at the Gordon Howard Active Living Center on Eveline Street in Suburb.
Okay, questions, comments? Heather, any interest from members of council?
Scott's a meeting.
Okay, go ahead, Scott.
I guess in some ways when I read this, I'm kind of wondering, first of all, did any of us attend last June?
I did.
Yeah, Horvis did.
Like, I'm wondering if it wouldn't be more beneficial for that person to attend again, because it looks like they're giving a report of what they heard from them. That's kind of why I put an unsure there, because I don't know how much benefit it would be for me to go.
And I put, I
Go
put
ahead.
maybe on mine because I don't know Nate's grad is so close there. I don't know, I think it's 26th, 27th. So that's why I put maybe there. I'd have to check to make sure, but yeah.
Well, and I guess for myself, I know I'm not available to go that day. So if one of you or both of you could go, that would be great. Like, Scott, I realize that, you know, maybe there'll be things that they may talk about that came up last year, but I think it's still good to have at least one representative there to make sure that we get the information back here. So,
Maybe put us both down and we can,
Yeah.
and if you both go, that's fine too. You know, I don't think that there's a problem with that because it's not a very long event anyways by the looks of things. I think they just want to kind of give an update.
Last year was more like a workshop, like we went into different groups and then we tried to figure out what their needs were, what they wanted to achieve by doing that, you know, so it was,
Okay, so if we could have the resolution brought forward, please.
Resolved, Councillors Dave Horvis and Scott Spicer be authorized to attend the community conversation at Gordon Howard Active Learning Center in South Manitoba on June 26, 2024.
Can I have a mover, please? Counselor Sutherland, second Counselor Vasilevich. Any further questions or comments? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay, the next item we have is the East Beaches Heritage Wing, and it's the unveiling of their local hero video. And that one is, I think, next week. No,
Yes,
it's
on
this
15th.
week. It's on Saturday.
So the event will be on June 15th at 1:30 p.m. at the GMCC. And the invitation is open to all of council. Will also be, my recommendation is also to send our recreation manager to attend there as well.
Yeah, and I actually do plan on going to that one. I'm not sure if there was anything else there. But Heather, on the list that we got on our desk, what was the time on that? Because I noticed that one of them, the time was.
I don't know why there's a time there, that's
Yeah.
not the right time.
No, that's what yeah, just to be clear, if anybody else was looking at going, it's at 1:30 or whatever. Deepak, what did you just say? I don't have that part up on my
It's
screen here.
1:30
sorry.
p.m.
1:30, and I think the sheet we had said
It's
9:30.
at 9:30, yeah, just ignore that.
Yeah, so. Okay, any other questions or comments on this one? Okay, if you want to bring the resolution forward, please.
Resolved, Mayor Feeblecorn and Councillor David Horbus be authorized to attend the East Beaches Heritage Wing Local Hero Video unveiling at Grand Marais Community Center in Grand Marais on June 15th, 2024.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Vasilevich, Councillor Spicer seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? And that is carried. Okay, the next one we have is the Legal Summerfest.
Yes, Madam Mayor, this is the Summer Fest, and they're inviting all council members to attend a fundraising event, and it will be held on July 6th. And they also thank the council for all the support they've received. So it will be held at the Lebo Community Club in Lebo, Manitoba, and it'll be on July 6th from 12 p.m. and it goes right into 12 a.m.
Okay, any questions or comments? I know I'll be going, but I'll be going on my own. I won't be charging the RN for it because I know I was there last year with my granddaughter and she had lots of fun, and I think it'll be the same this year.
Yeah, and you see with me, I won't be charged.
So, anybody else have any comments or questions?
Okay, so I have the resolution, Madam Mayor.
Yep.
Resolved, Mayor Feeblecorn and Councillors David Sutherland, David Horbus, Sandra Strang, and Scott Spicer be authorized to attend the Summerfest at the Lebo Community Club, Lebo, Manitoba, on July 16th, 2024.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Horbus, Councillor Spicer seconds. All in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Okay, the next one is the Pegasus Day, commemoration at Old St. Peter's Church on June the 16th, which is Father's Day. If you want to go ahead, Deepak.
Yes, Madam Mayor, and there will be some worship service that will start. It will be at 10 a.m. on June 16th, as you mentioned already, the location, and council has been invited to attend.
Okay, any interest to go from members of council? I'll be going. It is Father's Day, so they usually have a pretty good crowd, and they usually have their church service, and then we gather around the monument, and there's some greetings from dignitaries, and then they have their feast, which is usually a really good meal.
So we have some council members and the mayor attending, so
Okay.
resolve Mayor Feeblecorn and councillors Dave Sutherland and Robert Belanger be authorized to attend the Pegasus Day at the Old Stone Church in East Selkirk, Manitoba on June 16th, 2024.
Okay, can I have a mover, please? Councillor Spicer, Councillor Horbus seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? And that is carried.
Just a note, Madam Mayor, so there might be a little bit of a conflict between June 16th, between the two. So you have to go to one at 10, and then the other one, I think it starts at noon, right?
No, it's the 15th and the 16th.
Is it 15th and 16th?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grand Marais is the 15th.
Okay, yes, it is, sorry.
Good thing. Okay, so we can move down to new and other business. I guess the first item there is the Manitoba Highland Gathering, which is on the weekend of the 22nd and the 23rd of June.
Yes, we received a letter, and they've thanked the RM for the continued support, the funding request that they've received, as well as the support that they received for in-kind services from Public Works for set up and take down of tables and chairs and so forth. And what they're requesting for is a letter of support for their liquor permit and as a special event, as a community event in the RM, as well as what they're looking for is the ability to be able to be put on to the liability insurance of the RM as a community event.
Okay, any questions or comments from members of council? I think this is the first time they're doing this show and shine that I remember.
This is the Goshen Shine, this is the gathering.
The gathering, Highland Gathering.
Oh, I was,
Yeah.
sorry, I was looking at the wrong line
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
Yeah, I know.
Trying
That's
to-
okay. What's that? They did do this show and shine? Okay, so let's work with the Highland Gathering. I've got no issue with that, so if you want to bring the resolution forward for that.
Just one other note, they are also celebrating the 150th anniversary of the RCMP this year as well.
Aren't they doing the horse ride?
That was in Salford, isn't it in Salford?
It's not here, but I don't know when it was or if it's still coming up, the musical ride.
Isn't it in,
I thought they said Selkirk. So anyway, let's get through the Highland Gathering and then we'll,
was there when we talked about the gathering last time, wasn't there some request for some questions that we had asked them about? Or was it-
Yes, and our recreation manager is still working with them.
Okay.
We still receive
I just-
this request as part of that, and then we're working with them on their funding
Yeah.
and overall audit process that they're
Okay.
going through.
yeah, and I guess the one thing that kind of catches my eye here is the special event permit. We need to get that done so they can
Yeah.
apply and get their permit, so.
So, resolve council support the Manitoba Highland Gathering application for community event permit to the Liquor and Gaming Authority of Manitoba to be held on June 22nd and 23rd, 2024 at Legacy Park, East Selkirk. And further be it resolved, the two-day Manitoba Highland Gathering event be added to the municipal liability insurance coverage policy.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Bazarowicz, second Councillor Blonde. Any discussion? Go ahead, Councillor Sutherland.
Doesn't cost us anything for to add them on. Is there an initial cost?
Oh, to add them onto our insurance?
Yes.
Yeah, there'd be a little cost.
There's
No?
no, not for just the two-day event.
I've never had an invoice for these, just for the,
Thank you.
Usually it's the board insurance that costs us, so if there's like a community not-for-profit that's looking for liability insurance for their board members, then it becomes a cost to their.
JFCC. Thank you.
Okay, I believe I had a mover and a seconder on that motion for the Highland Gathering for their special event permit and insurance. So if there are no further questions, I'll call the question. All in favor, opposed, and that is carried. Okay, the next item is the Gull Lake Show and Shine.
Yes, Madam Mayor, this is an event that's going to be happening on August 17th, and the rain date has been identified as the 18th, and it's going to be in that green space where the gazebo has been set up and the open space. And the intent here is, this is the first year that this is occurring, and they've already requested for some support, which they've received. In addition to that, now what they're requesting for is for 2 additional porta potties in that area for that day. The cost of those porta potties has been provided for the RM, and what they're requesting for us is to pay the funds the intent of this particular show is to raise some funds, and that will be then provided back to the Golden Lake Ratepayers Association to apply towards that green space and do some other.
I think they're making a volleyball court, that's what they're looking to do.
It's almost done. I got a note from Mr. Valley yesterday, yes. Okay, any other questions or comments on that? Go ahead, Councilor Sutherland.
Isn't one extra one good enough?
No, they want more.
Well, I don't care if you want. One extra one, two is, to me, that's just a comment.
Yeah. How many did they give already, Pat? Didn't you give one already?
We provide one there on a
So he
regular
wants
basis.
two more, so he wants three.
Yes.
And we don't have any extra ones, so we have to, the one we gave them now is ours, right?
Yes, but we still have a cost for
Yeah.
cleaning and maintaining.
But we don't have any empty ones, we have to rent the whole unit thing and sell
Correct.
it there.
Yeah, so it's about $185 per toilet. And so, and then, as well as it's $80 for delivery and $90 for cleaning afterwards. So altogether, it turns,
300
540, so it's about 220 per toilet,
extra.
correct? Plus GST.
Go ahead, Councilor Spicer.
Please refresh my memory, have we provided any funds to this at all? After
This is the first time this event has ever occurred
Okay.
in Gull Lake.
Are we getting sponsored by Arm of St. Clements on the side of
The water, probably not.
On the paper, you roll on the water. Yeah.
There should be some recognition for the RRM. I can certainly make a point of having, I've assigned our economic development officer to make sure that the event goes off without too much concerns, because what they will be using is some of the roads as well for parking and other things, and I think the person organizing has to make sure that they take all the things into consideration. And that's why I want to make sure our economic development officer was involved to make sure everything that needs to be done is completed and not missed.
As far as,
Go ahead.
as far as recognition is concerned, they always recognize us for anything we do. They're pretty good for that. At the last meeting that Dave and I were at, there, they really thanked the RM for everything they've contributed or done, so.
Okay, anybody else?
I think Councilor Basarowicz had a comment.
No, it's okay.
Are you sure?
Well,
Okay.
no, it was just about the GST to get them back.
Oh, the GST we do get back,
Yes.
okay, so I wasn't sure what you meant by what we get back.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and getting back to parking and things like that, I know that I've been up there and so have the two counselors for their Family Fun Day, which is usually the beginning of August, I think. And yes, there's a ton of people there. There's races for the kids and all that kind of stuff. And there's parking on, I guess it's Stead Road, right from the grounds, quite a distance on both sides of the highway there, so.
Yeah, but this time they may be also going inside
To park.
to park because of the number of cars that will be around. And so that's part of the challenge that they're looking at to make sure that it works properly. I've also informed them that they should, I've also informed Gary that they should make sure that the residents that live in those streets are aware, because it might be difficult, because some of those are very, very narrow streets
Right.
in that area.
Yeah.
So they may turn into sort of one-ways.
Councilor Sutherland.
At their picnic, which there's usually quite a few people, we don't put an extra washer in there, do we? Just the one that we have.
Correct.
It's picnic, yeah. Therefore, what I said before, I think one extra one is a compliment. Why three when there's the picnic has just one. I kind of thought it was, I wanted to ask a question. Anyway, that's whatever.
Comment?
Go ahead, Rob.
Could the reason be because they're adding the show and shine this time and they're thinking there's gonna be more people than just the picnic? I don't know. There's gotta be a reason why they want.
The show and shine has, it happens all across Manitoba in different spots. And as part of that, they have estimated as to the number of people that might attend. And that's where they're trying to plan for this, because it's also the people registering to bring their vehicles to show there, and also the people parking to come look at them.
Stan requested. Anybody?
Go ahead, Councillor Spicer.
I move we go ahead with the request.
Okay. Okay, moved by Councillor Spicer, seconder please, Councillor Belanger. Any further discussion? Do you wanna give me a read there, please?
Resolved, council approve the 2 additional porta potties at a cost of $540 plus taxes for the Gull Lake Green Space and the Gull Lake Car Show being held on August 17, 2024.
Okay, I have a mover, I have a seconder. If there are no other questions or comments, I'll call the question. All in favor? Opposed? And that is carried. Okay, 6.3, Manitoba Good Roads Association, the annual judging competition, and I think all the criteria is maybe listed here.
Yes, Madam Mayor.
Okay, so a couple of things, and I know that I did see it on the website that we have put on our website that if you wanted to self-nominate, you were more than able to do so. The other question I'm going to ask is if there's anybody interested in going on the judging team, because I know that they're short of judges. We are having a meeting next week, and if anybody is interested, I think it's next week. Yeah, the 17th. If anybody is interested, I'm sure that they would appreciate the extra body to do some judging. It may be in this area, it may be a little bit further away, so. If there's any interest, if you could just let me know, that would be great, and then I can pass your name along next week. And usually what they do, if they have some new judges, I kind of got this from talking to some of the ones that have been around for a while. If you're a new judge, they'll put you with someone who's been doing it for a while, so you kind of figure out what to do, and then there is a criteria that you have to follow. So it might be one day, it might be a couple of days, depending on what area you're doing. And again, I'm going to ask if you're out and about, I know we've talked about it a few times, if you're out and about and you see a nice yard, whether it be along Henderson Highway or in the farming community or cottage country, make a note of it, let the office know, and what Heather usually does is gets a hold of the people to see if they will let their name stand in the competition, and sometimes we get some good homes that way, or yards. I can't remember here. The deadline for entries is June 21st.
Yes.
So we have 2 weeks.
Should be lots of time during that day, so August 30th.
So if we can all take a look when we're driving around. We don't need anything else there, do we?
No, just as information.
Yeah.
To remind.
Right. Okay, so the next one is the Manitoba Public Insurance, the speed signs approval.
Yes, Madam Mayor, this was briefly discussed with council a while back, and since then, Kevin had made application, and he'd also been talking with St. Andrews and found out about their application. We put in for additional speed signs, and we received approval for 2. So we have now a total of 3 speed signs, because we had 1 already. And so now the opportunity, and the reason I brought it here is that we received these new speed signs. These are free, and so that's good news on one side, and the other is I wanted to bring it to council's attention, and then if there were any locations that council has heard about that should be sort of monitored. We can certainly look at putting some speed signs at those locations. We can even bring it back to council, but I wanted to bring it to your attention. We'll be getting 2 more additional speed signs. So there's been some areas that have been identified by residents, there's a lot of speeding going on, it's just to remind people.
I guess my first question would be, can we put them on the provincial roads, or do they have to be on municipal roads?
These are on the municipal roads. We can't put them on provincial roads through approval.
Right. Go ahead,
Are
Councillor
these
Becerra.
portable, like can we move around?
Yes,
Okay, and this is the digitals.
yes.
So what?
I'm assuming they are, like, it's all the new signs, and it's the campaign was from the province. I think Minister Wharton had told us a little bit about this previously, that they were looking at offering these speed signs to various communities, and so we took advantage of it.
Selkirk Road should have.
Or not Minister Wharton, sorry, MLA Wharton.
Go ahead, Councillor Becerra.
Yeah, well, Dave just said this road should have one. But this is provincial still, or is it?
Yeah.
We're the traffic authority on it. It's
Yeah.
provincial road, but we're the traffic authority, so we should be able to put
Okay,
those
another
signs.
place that should go, which is next, which was 44 back to the industrial park.
Well, we never did.
And the third one, we were trying to get going on the Henderson Highway, where we received, Old Henderson Highway, we received some approvals. Is it Old, no, Henderson Highway.
Henderson?
Right on the curve.
Right on the curve there where there was that fatal accident.
Yeah.
And then we can move it from there to places like Dunning or other that are coming up sometimes.
See West, is it West St. Paul? Yeah, West St. Paul has one before the
By the
school.
school, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's East St. Paul.
He said,
You see Paul has one
the
too?
school had on, Hodman, they had 4 signs.
Okay, so thank you for that. We'll take that note and I'll talk to Kevin, we'll see. And if need be, we'll get the provincial approvals for whatever we need.
Okay. And then the Balsam Harbor Marina, that was one that Councillor Strang had requested to be added,
So
so.
might I suggest that we hold off on that?
Oh, yeah, that's what I was gonna say, so. So we'll move on to the accounts.
So, the closed list of accounts have been provided. Resolved that council approve the June 11th, 2024 list of accounts, check numbers 24000705 to 24000764 in the amount of $419,560.19 for payment.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Spicer, second Councillor Sutherland. Any discussions, questions, comments? Hearing and seeing none, I will call the question. All those in favor, opposed, and that is carried. Okay, then we will move on to our grants, and I see we have a couple of grants there today. The GMRA is requesting a grant, and I will turn it over to Deepak to bring us up to speed on that one.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. This is related to the GMRA, who's been requesting a grant for $30,000, and what they're identifying is as part of the 2023 operating grant. What I'm suggesting is the 2023 and 2024 at $15,000 apiece per year, as we provided them in the past. They're identifying these are funds needed to be able to continue the work on the facility that they would modify.
Deepak,
Yes,
there's additional information, right, 10,000 a year. Right, and put up some,
yeah.
did you see, is it on the app?
Yeah, so as Brendan had looked into this, that we had, in the past, up to 2019, we were granted $10,000 a year. And then after they did request for $40,000 in 2019 for the additional, and that year they were granted $30,000, which was part of the $10,000 grant with additional $20,000 towards the project that was put in place. As as we know, 2020 and 2021, there was no request because we had the COVID and most of the community centers were closed. And then in 2022, they received the $30,000, and that was, Brenda thinks it was related to confusion, but I don't think it was confusion. At that point in 2022, what they came forward with was a request for $15,000 a year, similar to what the GMCC was receiving, and we made that modification to the GMCC. And so now what they're coming forward with, they're $30,000, and I think this is in relation to the same as the $15,000 per year that we've been giving the GMCC, as well as, I think the only other one is the East Southbrook, which receives a little bit more. But generally speaking, we were staying consistent with the GMCC grant.
Okay, questions, comments? Go ahead, Counselor Spicer.
Okay, so this is a part of this one policy that provides operating funds to certain facilities.
Correct.
So, does it say $30,000? I did have,
It could go as high as $30,000 depending on situations. I think it was the facilities. I don't think it has a specific amount on that particular policy, but the GMRA does fall into that policy of receiving operating funds support. Same as GMCC and East Southbrook Rec and others.
Well, it kind of refers to here, what I'm reading from this, that they were initially set up for 10 a year.
Initially, yes.
Initially, that was their funding, just like they were set up for 30.
Yes.
So these guys were set up for 10, and then GMCC was set up for 15.
Mhm.
So Brandon's recommending they go back to 10 or the 15.
Yes.
And I
And
guess
I'm
this
saying
is,
is the 15 would be for 2023 and 2024.
okay,
So since they're asking for 2024, so 15 per year would add up to 30,000.
oh, so you're saying give them the 30.
But it's for those 2 years. They can't come back in 2024
Well,
or in 2025 asking for 2024 grants.
but I thought that's kind of like saying, if you didn't apply and you missed it, that was your kind of,
We did say that, and they previously had asked for previous years, and that's why we gave them for the 1 year previous and the current year. So in 2022, we gave them for 2021 and 2022. They had asked in that time for 2020 and 21 and 22. And we said you can't go back all these years. And as part of that, we also requested for them to do the audits and the audit reports, and that's been provided.
Counselor Belanger and then Counselor
I
Spicer.
didn't have anything.
Oh, I thought you had your hand
No.
up, sorry. Okay, go ahead, Counselor Spicer.
okay, this is an old document from 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And what it says here is, the 2019 budget was 10,000,
Correct.
and we gave them 15
In 2020 or 2019.
in 2019. And
Mhm.
then the 2020 budget was 10, and we gave them 14,700. So, here, I don't disagree with what you're stating.
Mhm.
I don't have a problem with, I do kind of agree with Councilor Harvest, but at the same time, I don't have a problem. The problem that I'm having is when I look at this email, the people involved are automatically assuming it's now 30 a year.
Correct.
So, if we do give them 30, then it needs to be clearly stated to them that it's not 30 a year.
Yes. Completely
It
agree.
is 10 is what we've been budgeting. If you want to make it 15, that's a decision of council. But, and I know this is old information, I apologize, it's just the only information I have. But I think We have to temper expectations, let's just put it that way.
I agree.
So,
And so the last time when they requested the grant, when they asked for 3 years' worth, we agreed to 2 years, and we had said 15,000 per year. That's what we had said to them. Obviously, that message may not have gotten across appropriately. I will try to make it as clear as possible this time.
comment?
Go ahead, Councilor Blanchard.
Yeah, I agree with that. It would be your 10,000 a year, and we also suggest that you don't try to combine a couple of years to, however you want to word it. You hold off 1 year, and then you apply the next year for a bigger amount of money. Do not miss a year, because we're not gonna
Go back.
combine, like, they want the 30, because they missed a year or whatever, like we did, they want to bundle them. Apply every year, it's 10, but apply every year, because we're not about to start bundling 3 together to make 30 anymore. I don't know, it's a bigger hit.
I guess I'm reading it two ways. I get what you're saying, Rob, but I think what Deepak's trying to say is that they were like on an automatic thing, that they were getting that every year, and they really didn't have to apply. They'd have to give us a letter to apply, but they were kind of granted that, just like they are, sort of like East Soccer kids sort of thing? Is that what you're
Previous to
saying?
2020, they were receiving these grants, such as GMCC and the rest of them. They were still making the request. Part of that was
Yeah.
that they needed to also provide financial statements
Statements.
and audited financial statements, which wasn't being provided. Since then, their person responsible for finance has been providing those financial statements, and they've been under that process. In between that, what they also asked for in 2020 was, 2019 and 2020, was that they were doing this big upgrade to the facility, and they received all this grant funding and this very large project we're also investing in. And so it's not that we're just giving them just the 30,000, we also, council also had agreed that we would bring in a project manager to manage this
Well,
project.
that's where I'm kind of going with this. I mean, I thought back then, because of what had happened there, and it was so mismanaged and mishmashed, that we weren't gonna be supporting it as much, or just throwing it in unless there was a plan and there was
Correct.
whatever.
And now
So
we have a plan,
we have a plan now?
and our project manager is, nothing is being done without the project manager's involvement.
Okay, so who would that be? Brendan is?
Brendan is the recreation manager overseeing it, but the project manager was brought in as Vicro Consulting, who's doing the project manager on it. So this person is now our owner's representative,
Okay,
representing, although the building and the land is GMRA land and building. We felt that because it's still a municipal, not-for-profit situation in a community center, we wanted to make sure that it was delivered according to the code, the code requirements.
but
So
don't they own the building and the land now? Don't they own?
they own that from us.
Yeah, so really they could, if somebody came up there tomorrow and said, here's $1 million, they could say to the arm, we don't need you anymore, and we're going ahead.
Correct.
We're doing whatever we want.
They could try that, yes, but then the RM would then not
They have-
provide, and then they wouldn't be.
Yeah, we wouldn't be supporting them anymore or
Correct.
anything. So if something like that happened, could they turn around and say, in a year, say, we want to sell this now, and they could sell it privately? If they have title? Just a question I'm asking.
It's a good question.
If it's,
I don't think that they could sell the land itself. 'Cause the
well, if they
land was
have
given
title
to
to
them.
it, do they have actual title to it?
Yes,
Yeah, so,
There might be a caveat on it for recreation purposes.
Yeah.
right?
yeah, and it's on recreation zoning. I'll have to double check that. It's a very good question.
it's too late to put a KBO on that one, I guess. But yeah, that's
Yeah.
something that we should.
Go
do in
ahead.
the future.
Sorry, Dave, go ahead, Scott.
So just going a little further with that. So, just so it's clear, So it's 30,000 plus, we're paying for the recreation director to help, as well as the architect.
Yes, as well as,
Okay, so it's really not 30, it's more than that.
mhm.
Now, given the scope of where we are, I still understand everything and what needs to be done here, and I don't disagree with it. But I'm gonna come back to what myself and Councillor Rob had brought up. Yarn is stepping up to assist to move this forward, even though there's been many challenges. And that I'm okay with. The part I'm not okay with then is that the expectation is that we're gonna keep doing what we're doing. Because in some ways, we're kind of cleaning up a mess here. So that's a short-term thing. So it still comes back to being very clear how the grant policy works, what is required, and this is the amount that we've been budgeting for you. So then when the next grant application comes in for whatever number it is, you're not disappointed when it may not be approved for the amount they're asking for.
I agree, and what we will work at is making sure that the grant policy is communicated. That was previously communicated as to the grant policy, and that's how we started receiving the documentation. We're still behind schedule. Our goal is to have everybody submit grant requests before the budget process. Because it doesn't make sense to be giving grants and also not receiving any grants for previous years. And this time they had a bit of a delay because we refused to give approval on a request until the audited financial statements were provided. And so they had some time needed to provide those audited financial statements. I'm hoping that that's why I was recommending budgeting and saying that this is 23 and 24, so that there is no question that they are up to date and they must provide financial statements and everything in advance of receiving any grant funding.
Just on that note, you're talking 2024 grant, so you're looking for a 23 statement, audited statement or financial statement for 23 in order to get the 24 grant? And have we got that?
Yes, we should. They've received the audited financial statements.
Do we
That's
have
what they
the
were providing.
audited statement from 22 for 23?
Yeah, they caught up to all their audits. Some of it might be, but it's appropriately audited financial statements.
Yeah, there's one.
We don't have to 2022. 2023 is currently with the
Okay, sorry, so 2023 is currently with their accountant. So we only have 2022, so what we can do is pass the resolution saying $15,000 for 2022, or for 2023, based on the 22 audited financial statements, and another $15,000 once the 2023 audited financial statements are received.
Also, just one, oh, sorry, Dave, go ahead.
I'm fine with that, the 15 and 15. And as has been stated, just let them know there are no difference in Lebo, Stony Point, GMCC, Rec Center, they all have to, so they're in the same category, it just should be explained to them.
So,
They're no different.
so I guess two things. So now, are they expecting 15 every year instead of the 10 that was allocated for them? Is that what's gonna happen here now? for
Yes.
that? And
Right
then-
now, they think it's 30, and then we're gonna correct that.
Yeah, and then, I guess going back to what Scott said before, another thing that they're getting from us, who pays the insurance on that building?
They
Who
are,
pays the liability?
they are.
Okay, and now- Oh, we don't?
We do.
We do?
We do.
Yes, they're on our, yes.
policy?
Yeah, so we paid for the insurance for a building that we don't, well, I guess we don't own any of them. I guess some of them we do own, but I
The
just.
GMCC we own,
We own
No.
GMCC, yeah.
but we don't own the ESRA,
No.
No.
and we don't own
Stony Point, we don't own legal,
No.
but I mean, if something were to happen, we would get them.
I think they're on our policy, aren't they, Stony Point and Levo?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they are.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I guess Stead too, right? Stead part of ours?
Instead,
I don't
the
think so.
hall, or
Probably,
the Fallbrook Hall, are you?
The Fallbrook.
No.
Fallbrook Hall, we don't.
Stead's out of our,
Yeah.
I guess my question is, and this might not sound right, but if we're paying all these other things for them, should we be still giving them the full grant?
It all adds up.
Well, and that's, I mean, I don't have a problem doing it, but I guess if we're gonna do it for one, we better do it for everybody, like it seems that,
That's what we've been doing, the same
Yeah.
for everybody.
yeah,
But the last time we had this discussion was at the budget time.
right,
It was identified that we should be recognizing and reporting on all these additional funds that are being devoted to the various community groups and centers.
yeah,
That's above and beyond just a grant.
yeah,
So if we're giving the 15 and we're paying 1,500 in the insurance, we should really giving them 13,500. Is that what you're saying? Because that's, I think, when we went back to that.
Well,
that's
then
what
it
we
becomes
were talking
the
about.
decision of council, or you recognize it as that it's 16,500 is the actual amount that they're receiving. $15,000 in funds and an added value of insurance and other amenities, because there are things such as, we don't recognize we know that we're paying for these porta potties,
Yeah.
but we don't necessarily recognize them as grants
Yeah.
that go along to the support of the community. In other areas, we're providing administrative support or additional graveling, all those kinds of things, should they be identified to show that this is the full commitment that the RM is making in the support of these community groups.
go ahead, Councilor Spicer.
RCAO is correct, that's what I remember as the discussion. And if I remember correctly, there was a decision of council back 2016 that we weren't charging these guys for insurance anymore because they were having a tough enough time operating. And so be it. And going back to what the mayor said, yeah, it's extra, and like I said, I think this is I think we have to somehow figure out how to be a little bit flexible, because, I'll bring up the self-correct, well, they needed some extra money because their plant was down. Well, I think we gave them some extra money over and above their grant too, right?
Yes, but it
For that-
required additional reports and
For
information.
that purpose. So, I think the challenge that we have here is that we recognize that these are community groups. It's for the community. There will be times where we might need to help them over and above what's normal. But at the same time, I'll go back and hate to repeat myself. We have to make sure that they know that this is, we're giving you some extra help because of this situation. It's not changing from what
Right,
the normal is.
yeah,
We're helping you over and above. Then you're gonna be going back to the normal. Thank you.
okay. Councilor Sutherland?
yeah, I don't believe we should be cutting back on these grants. Then we gotta go through, all of them do the same things because of the liability insurance. We've always done this for quite a number of years. I don't think we should be knocking that off our grant. Just leave it the way it is. Thank you.
Thanks, Dave. Anybody else have any questions, comments? Do we have a resolution for this one, Deepak?
Yes, we do. I was just wondering whether you want me to talk a little bit about that specific grant policy or anything, or we can come back and report back on that. Okay. So the resolution for this, we'll modify a little bit. So resolved, council approve the following 2023 request grant budget of Grand Marais Recreation Center 2023 annual grant for $15,000 and Grand Marais Recreation Center 2024 annual operating grant of $15,000 once the audited financial statements for 2023 have been received.
Upon receipt.
Upon receipt of 2023 audited financial statements.
Good.
Good.
I'll move it. I'm good with that.
Okay, so can we have a mover? David, Councillor Horbis moves, Councillor Sutherland seconds. Any further discussion or questions on the grant for GMRC, sorry. Hearing and seeing none, call the question. All those in favor, opposed, carried.
So many abbreviations you get mixed up, eh?
Yeah, something like that. Okay, the next one we have,
Sorry, who moved and seconded that?
David.
Councillor Horbis moved, Councillor Sutherland second. Okay, the next one we have is another grant, and go ahead, Deepak.
This is the grant that we've been providing the beaches of 59 for $2,500 on an annual basis. And it's under our non-reporting agencies 410 policy, and they're requesting for the operating grant of $2,500.
Okay, any questions, comments? Go ahead, Councillor Spicer.
The only observation I have is we have the two economic development officers are in charge of this organization. Like, we don't have any volunteers that should be maybe more in charge of this organization.
I thought we were getting over this sort of thing.
Good questions. I had anticipated this to come forward.
Now we're taking
And what I
Gary off
request-
that.
What I've requested is for Gary to report back. And did we get anything from him? We haven't received anything. I've asked Gary to report back on, I asked for it last week but I'll report back to council at the next council meeting as to the status for Gary to step away from the organization and start functioning on its own. Because it's not, here's another example of costs associated with this. It's not the $2,500, it's also the additional cost of our value add of an economic development officer attending all these meetings, doing all the work, and that's a cost that we pay directly to our economic development officer, which is a contracted employee.
Thank you. And can I just ask, Gary used to have to come and give reports monthly or 2 months. He hasn't done reports, it's like what he's done and where's the... Does he not have to report to us every once in a while, every 2 or 3 months? Just a question.
That's my fault, I haven't brought him back. I'll bring him back, I'll put him on the next agenda.
That's fine.
Unless he just tells you and you tell us what he's doing.
He's been telling me, and then I've been keeping you apprised on some of the economic development initiatives we've been
Okay,
doing.
well, either,
But at the same point, it might be worthwhile to bring them to the table, so council can ask some questions. There's no issues there at all. We could do it as a committee of whole, or we could do it as a delegation at a regular council meeting. Let me know, and either way I can do it. I'll put them on the committee of whole. That's where we used to use
Yeah.
an opportunity for the administration to give updates, but you make a very valid point, and I think worthwhile bringing it up. Do we have students coming today?
yeah, our delegations here, so I have to...
Not that I know of, but I
They
think
did this to
there's.
me yesterday, they just showed up to have a tour of the council chamber, and I asked if you guys do
Oh,
that
okay.
again to phone us,
Yeah,
but I guess they haven't phoned us.
yeah, those look like maybe grade 1, grade 2. So, if they come in, they come in. I don't have that much of a problem with
It's
it.
an open council meeting.
Yeah,
It's an open council meeting, they're allowed to come in.
yeah,
without notice.
exactly, exactly.
Grade 1, grade 2, that's our level.
Yeah. According to our ratepayers.
There was some talk about the openness of council buildings in the various municipalities in light of what's been happening at the FCN throughout the country. As an example, the mayor of Calgary now requires security guard and security contingent everywhere she travels.
Yeah.
For worship.
You know, going from location to location, even within Calgary.
Really?
Wow.
And the mayor, I was talking with the mayor of Winnipeg, and he said some of his staff are telling him, but he's not pushing it yet.
So,
Pushing it yet. To have somebody following him around.
So we might need some bodyguards.
Yes,
I
that's
got some
just,
people down the street that maybe we could hire. I just said people down the street.
is Tyler working down the street?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, it looks like they might just be having a little look around and a couple of pictures there, so. Okay, so beaches of 59, I think that's where we are at, and I don't know that we made a decision on that one.
No, we haven't. Resolve council approve the following 2024 grant request, Beaches of 59, 2024, at $2,500.
Can I have a mover, Councillor Spicer, second, Councillor Boulanger, any discussion? Questions, comments?
No, I thought so.
Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor, opposed, carried. Okay, or 7.2.3 Selkirk Biz, the 2024 parade.
Correct, asking us to participate in it. It's $500 for the sponsorship for the parade. And we've put forward a resolution as according to the Selkirk Biz parade, which we participate in every year.
Okay, let's do the resolution, then I have a couple of questions for Heather.
Resolve council approve the following 2024 request and grant budget, Selkirk Biz Annual Fair Parade 2024, $500.
I have a mover, please, Councillor Horbus, second, please, Councillor Bazarowicz, any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor, opposed, and that is carried. Heather, have you spoken at all to Public Works, whether they're going to be doing a float, or are we just gonna put a truck in, or?
No, last year it was Taylor.
Okay, and
I
Brendan,
worked with Debbie, and I know they're eager to do the same.
same thing,
Yeah.
okay. So, and I guess whoever wants to participate, you're
You know,
more than
you're-
welcome.
Yeah, the year before, I think me, Scott, who else, you were there?
Sandra, I think.
Sandra.
Yeah, and if we want to have, some giveaways or candy for the kids along the way, we need some walkers, so I would say that, you know, we can open it up to everybody. I'm not much for walking. Go ahead, Scott.
Unless I read this incorrectly, they want some safety officers this year too.
For each individual float kind of thing?
Yeah, it said,
Well, no, I guess because, you know, sometimes those kids run out and heaven forbid that there's a tragedy that, you know.
but we can talk about that.
Yeah.
Teapot. With our fire department right behind us, would they be considered safety officers maybe?
Yeah, because usually they are right
Yeah,
behind
we
us.
put them right behind us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too bad they changed their route. They don't go down that line anymore.
No?
No.
Where you
Just down Main Street.
know?
Well, I think Eveline is probably too narrow with all the people that there are sometimes. And the other thing is then the whole street is blocked off. It can't be used. At least Main Street, they kind of put the traffic to one side and the parade is on the other side.
But now what are they gonna do?
I know.
Half of Main Street's under construction.
Well, I think it never, I guess, yeah, that does come
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
Superior or one
Yeah.
of those streets.
It's gonna be a new route this year because of that,
Yeah,
and it's busted up.
Yeah.
and it's gonna be that
Right
way,
from
I
the corner there to the
understand,
bank.
Yep.
and I understand it's gonna be like that until
Fall.
October. Yeah, so. Okay, so we're good there, we're going to go into the parade and we'll figure the rest out as maybe by the end of the month meeting, we'll have a little bit more information. We still have some time, so.
What's the date of the parade again?
13.
July?
July 13th. Okay, the next one on our agenda is the Manitoba Lacrosse Association.
Yes, Madam Mayor, it's for the under 15 and age 13 and 14. Lacrosse players have been from our RM are part of this. This is a provincial lacrosse. They go into Regina. Last year, they received $300 for basically medium-sized logo. They're asking anywhere from $200 to $500. They're recommending approval. You could go in same as last year, or you could increase it. Large logo for $500, or medium-sized logo for $300 as we did last year.
Comments, questions?
I'm okay with whatever council decides, 3 or 5, doesn't matter.
Go ahead, Councilor Basilowicz.
Yeah, I'd go with what we had done last year and all.
Same as last year, you don't want to up it? Because I heard both here.
That's for a good cause, I'd go for 5. Whatever, if it's 3, we should give something.
Yeah.
I'm good with whatever.
Councilor Spicer.
I like the 500 logo on the jersey.
Yeah.
Your name out there.
Goodbye.
Okay, so if we want to bring the resolution forward and
Resolved, council to approve the following 2024 requested grant budget under 15 team Manitoba Lacrosse, $500.
moved by Councilor Basilowicz, second Councilor Horbis. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay, so that takes us to communications for information. There's no bylaws on today's agenda. And I'm not sure if there's anything that you want to bring forward, Deepak, or any of the councilors, if there's anything that you want to bring forward. I'll turn it
I
over to
do,
Deepak.
Madam Mayor, there was a request that from the RM in 2022 on the service road renaming, which has been approved by the province of Manitoba, and we received a notification on it, so the service road will be called Highland Glen Drive. Off the road, off of
44 there?
yeah, off of 44. And the other one was the HILT reconciliation grant. What this is that they discovered that we had, they were short. We were short-changed for an amount for the payment in lieu of taxes for the province of Manitoba. And for the past few years, 21 and 23 specifically, so we'll be receiving an additional $4,000 into our coffers.
I just have to go back to the one from Highways about the renaming of the service road. If we look at it, we passed that resolution in July of 2022, and we got approval in June of 2024.
Correct.
Just a comment. I looked at that, because when I first read it, I thought, when the hell did we do that? Like, you know, like I couldn't remember we asked them to rename that. Then when I looked at when it was like, holy. So, I don't know, I know that we have some other requests into highways, like I know about the speed on 44 by the business park and everything else, like, so do we have to kind of send them a reminder letter to do some of these things, or like that we're still waiting for an answer on some of these things that we've asked them to do for us, or approve for us?
I don't know if a reminder matters, it's just a matter of seeing if there's a,
I think it's staff shortages. They've got such few people in these departments, they just, swamp people with.
Well, there was an election in there too, so that probably buggered things up for a
Yeah,
while.
so 23 and 24 would have been impacted by that.
Well, I guess the thing is, I mean, ours are maybe not too bad, but if you needed something done that affected the operation of the municipality, then you're kind of hooped until you get that.
Well, we do have quite a few requests in there. What is there, 4 or 5, right?
Yep.
The speeds,
So, anyways, that's, I guess, how things are working these days. Anything else on the, go ahead, Councilor Vazzarolo.
Yeah, 9.2.2, some structure permit, 4879 Henderson, what is that? Any idea?
Well, it's a private owner. It's not the RM. I think they're probably just giving us that for information, because we always used to get those.
Is there a sign or something?
It's probably, no, it's for a deck
Deck.
and a roof, so it's
It's
probably within
encroaching
their
into the highway
control
control
zone.
zone.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you look at the map, you can kind of see a little bit better, because the control zone is there.
Okay.
I think that's all it is.
And on the next page, 9.7, resident banquet, was that something in particular, or is it just on here?
It's on there as an example, when we receive thank you letters and things like
Okay,
that.
so we have nothing specific coming up right now?
Well, it's
They
to
just
do
wanted to thank for the grading
grading of the
Donald
road.
Road, on Donald Road.
Yeah,
But this
'cause
is, some of this was brought up on Donald Road was, Mr. Armstrong brings up issues around Donald Road regularly.
Right.
And so we've addressed those as well. We've been monitoring the grading. There was some additional comments received at the open house for the activity center about Donald Road and the work that was being done by our contractors. So I'd also asked Public Works to go back and take a look at it. This is partially related to that. They were also looking at clearance.
Wasn't that guy saying you had to drive through the ditch there or something?
That's a different gentleman, he's on that kind of stub road that's not even
Clearance.
clearance, yeah, not right on Donald. I know exactly which house that is, so. Okay, anything else? You, Becky, you have anything else?
No, nothing else.
Okay, so then, it looks as if we can move in Hannah. I don't have anything else for regular
Council
business.
reports or CA?
So, we have to do that? Okay, I kind of slid right by them. So council reports, first of all, I'm going to start today with Councillor Boulanger.
Yes.
As he's writing his out.
Yep. June 5th, I went back to the high school same as last year, and presented the scholarship to 3 students. Again, a bit of a long night because we're an S, so we're right at the very end.
Yeah.
But it's nice seeing, being in the school again, and brings back memories of so many years ago, but yeah, it was a good night.
Okay. And I'm just gonna interrupt you because it just came into my mind and I'll probably forget by the time I get to my report. Is there anyone, and Sandra's not here, I know, but is there anybody that is interested in going to the graduation, the actual graduation ceremony on the 27th of June? I don't think, did we pass a
Yeah,
resolution?
I'm going to the dinner.
You're going, okay,
Yeah, they
that's,
gave
I
me-
wanted to make sure that there was somebody. I can't go.
Yes, I'm glad you brought it up because I forgot to mention it. When I was at the awards night, a gal came up to me and gave me my ticket for the banquet,
Okay.
but then she said it wasn't paid for yet, so I'm not sure. I thought I
They
could write
probably
this
have to
down.
send us an invoice.
Okay,
I'll get in touch with them though.
okay.
But is Tammy going with you?
No, she's not.
Oh, okay, you're
No.
going on
Yeah.
your own,
It's
okay,
just me.
okay. Yeah, because I know I can't go that day, and I just wanted to make sure that we did have representation, because it's not been that many years that we started getting invited, like I think it's only been about maybe 4 or 5 years.
It's kind of odd because you're going for dinner and you're not really speaking or saying anything, you're just going.
Yeah, but I guess they want representation
I'll
from
see
all
Dave
the
there.
RMs.
You're going, aren't you?
No, he's not.
With your son?
No, he's going
No,
to
going to the-
Winnipeg.
The, whatchamacallit, when me and Dave are going to that one.
No, but
You
isn't
know,
your son graduating?
Oh, yeah, my son, yeah, he's going to the convention center, yeah.
Because he goes to school in the city.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were, I thought you went to the common.
No, he goes, yeah, he's going to the convention center in the city, yeah.
Okay, anything else, Rob, or was that
No,
it?
sorry, and then that's it.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Okay, Councillor Sutherland, go ahead.
Thank you. May 30th, attended the Activity Center Open House. Actually, it was quite a few questions asked. I guess it was well attended, I don't know, there could have been more people, but yeah, anyway, that was May 30th. June 1st, Councillor Horbus and myself attended the Gull Lake AGM. There was some, it was brought up again about the public washrooms, which we all know about, that we plan on putting in the public washrooms. One resident brought up a concern about tax assessment, but we explained to him that it has nothing to do with us. And there was some questions brought up about the, I'm sorry, I forget the name of that trail, but it still was,
McIntosh, Ian
Thank you.
McIntosh Trail.
it still hasn't been completed. We were supposed to be doing work on there, so I don't know if we can bring it
That
up.
must be,
Kevin.
that's right, all that rain. Because that is always a
I
worst spot.
sent Brendan have a meeting regarding that, so we'll have to get an update from them.
Comment on Dave's,
Go ahead.
we've been talking about that McIntosh Trail for I don't know how many years. It's almost embarrassing because we told Mr. Malik when he was here umpteen years ago that we would do something, and I don't know what that something was. Was it clearing brush? Was it giving gravel? But if it's still not done,
Well, I think part of the problem, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think Councillor Sutherland probably knows the best, but it seems to me that there's sort of a, I want to call it a low spot, I don't want to call it a drain, but there is a low spot there that they needed to put either a bridge or something, a culvert in there or something, so that people could go over, but it wouldn't impede the drainage that's there, so I'm not sure if that's the issue or what it is.
I think that was part of the issue, there was some provincial approvals required as well because of the drainage.
Yeah.
The impacted. But I'll bring an update and we'll get a bit of history on it at the same time.
Okay, thank you for that. Go ahead, Dave.
We have done work there, we just haven't completed it. And I think Public Works, I believe, has a plan, but it's just, again, it was brought up, it hasn't been completed, so I just thought I'd bring that up here. And GLBMB, they had a presentation also.
Is Dave Karen still involved with that part?
He's back.
Yes.
We
well,
can talk about it later
I'll
if
talk
you
to
want.
him, Dave, after.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
some issues, but anyway, that's it.
okay. That's it for yours?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, go ahead, Councillor Boulanger.
the only reason I brought that up was we're not talking about 1 or 2 miles of work.
No,
We're talking about feet. And if we go back, it's been, I'm gonna say 3 or 4 years. Just saying.
yeah, so Deepak's writing it down and he'll bring us a report back for next meeting or committee meeting, whatever we decide to have here, so. Go ahead, Councillor Horbus.
So I'm probably the same as Councillor Sutherland, Activity Center, and then the Gull Lake AGM. And they had said, the only thing there is that they said that they had sent us an invite, but we never got it. Like, nobody got the invite, it didn't come here or whatever, and that being said, he said that the reason I got it is because I'm a member. So that's how I guess I got it on my screen or whatever.
I checked the emails, there was nothing.
There was nothing, and he was adamant that he sent it.
Yeah.
Oh, and I believe that he did, because I did, you weren't here this morning yet, but I had started sending him a email, and it got stuck in my draft, because that was the day I was leaving town. So when I got home yesterday, I did send him a note, and he replied and said that you guys did an awesome job at their AGM, and he was happy that you were there. And now he was waiting, because he sent again to everybody, and he was kind of waiting for everybody to reply. Because the note that I got from him yesterday was that he had updated all the addresses, and Dave were the only ones that replied, that they got it. And then I replied last night, and he thanked me right away for getting back to him. I'm just trying to find it here.
Another thing there, Councillor Sutherland was very brave. He had brought up the gravel pit issue there with them, so, and Mr. Badia, we're talking about that. I was too busy talking about Stan, so.
You like Dave
I didn't hear
Copenesque?
that conversation.
You like Dave Copenesque?
No, I would, just the opposite. I just wanted to have a conversation with Darren about,
No, it
you
was
know, if
good.
he's gonna mellow it out a bit, then he,
Yeah, good, you broke the ice there with him. It seemed very civil.
yeah. And we did send your regrets, Deb.
Yes, I did get that from him. He actually, when did he send this? Oh, this is the one that he sent as a test. This was on June the 5th, whatever day that was. And as per my discussion with Councilors Horbis and Sutherland at the Gull Lake AGM, I am sending this email as a test. I understand that my invitation was not received. I have copied your email address from the RM's website. So that's what he said. And I sent him a note back yesterday when I got home that I was away for a few days, and he basically said, thanked me for responding, missed you at the meeting. The 2 days filled in admirably. So you guys did a good job.
The two of us could do one unit.
They are having a volleyball and bocce ball tournaments at the end of June, and we are getting people excited about coming to the green space. So that's what he sent last night.
You and Dave are putting the team
Councillor Spicer, did you have your hand up?
No,
in.
You think so?
Go ahead, Councillor
I
Sutherland.
just wanted to also, I forgot, at the picnic last year, remember there was some dips,
Yeah,
and we never, you know,
we talked about it,
about
yeah.
okay, update on that, when they're doing the volleyball court, they're gonna take,
That
whoever's doing the work, they're going to take that
earth and fill
extra
in.
and level it out themselves, just so everybody knows, so that problem is gonna be, they're gonna look after it. That's
Okay.
it, thank you.
Okay, anything else for you, Councillor Horbis?
No, that's it.
Go ahead, Councillor Bazarowicz.
May 28th, we had Cow here, we had K Road residents. May 30th, attended the Activity Center open house at the Narrow Fire Hall. And then June 5th through 10th, FCM in Calgary. The Prime Minister was there, the opposition leader, Mr. Singh, was there via Zoom. Elizabeth May spoke as well. They had the elections for our provincial rep, who's now Ms. Valentino.
No, that's not quite right.
Not
She's the third vice president for
vice,
FCM.
pardon me. That's what it's, third vice. And then our provincial reps are same as last year, Mr. Ray Tetro, Joe Massey, and Martin Platt. And that's about it.
Question?
Yep.
Where is it being held next year?
Ottawa.
Ottawa and then Edmonton.
then
And the
Halifax.
other thing, and while, because we're kind of thinking about this, they also announced, I guess that was Sunday, that the Sustainable Communities Conference is coming back. The first one is going to be in February of next year of '25, and it's in New Brunswick. So, and that's the one conference that I always enjoyed going to.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so But I don't know about going to New Brunswick in February.
Yeah, it's nasty out there.
Yeah, it's hard to get out sometimes.
Okay, if there's nothing else, and Kathy Valentino, for those that may not know, she is the deputy mayor of the city of Thompson. And she did a very good job in her speeches when she had to get up there and speak, so.
It's good for us, more Manitoba representation.
Well, and she's also one of the vice presidents on AMN, so I don't know if she can keep both of those positions or if she has to give up her AMN one, so.
She speaks very well.
She speaks very
Yeah, I
well,
like
yeah,
her. Yeah.
yeah,
She's really good.
yeah, she's very good.
One other question?
Sure.
The conference hall you're at, how was the gala dinner? Was it decent?
Sucked.
I always ask, because every year it's hit and miss. You can either have a really nice one or it can be,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
mediocre.
Is that the Drobik report?
It was mediocre, I
Okay.
would say,
That's all
yeah.
I need to know.
Yeah. Go ahead, Dave. What did you
Did they
say?
have any glasses of water at the tables for us to drink?
Water, wine, whiskey, whatever. you
Water,
want.
drink.
Yes,
You should have done your part and drank wine because there was a water shortage. I think there still is.
There still is, and it'll take them, they said yesterday, it probably will take them close to another week before it's all
Really?
fixed.
She said 4 days or so.
Well, on the news yesterday morning, could be up to another week, so it was rather interesting because yes, there was water on the tables.
Okay, thank you for that. I just thought maybe,
But they were really talking about consuming
we
your
were
water
going out to take
consumption.
showers too long.
Conservative.
or else take them together, whatever. Serve water.
Well, yeah,
Alfred,
we
nobody
can,
could come out.
I got one that I'll share, but it'll be in camera. Glenn, were you finished your report?
Yeah, that's it for me, thanks.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead, Counselor
I
Spicer.
guess it shows the importance of looping water lines, right? Thank you, Madam Mayor. May the 30th, I attended the Northeast Regional Health Committee, and most of that documentation is on the agenda for under 943. May the 30th, I attended the Activity Center Open House. Thank you to DPAC and our Recreation Director, did a good job. May 31st, Northeast Red Watershed, we have an HR committee meeting. And that's all I've got.
Okay, thank you for that. Go ahead, Counselor Milano.
How many times have you met with your watershed group?
Quite a few.
We met once over the last 4 months, 5 months, that's it.
I'm the
She's
vice
just on the north perimeter.
chairperson on
So you
the
need more?
subcommittee, so
Yeah,
they actually, in the beginning, said the chair and the vice chair could attend the board meetings, because we kind of told them, well, like, if you're expecting me to sit in and I have never attended a meeting, what benefit is it gonna be, right? But they're kind of moving more toward now, if the chair is there, the vice won't be
Okay.
on. But, it's kind of up to the chair and the vice to figure out who's available for the meeting. So it was more about just kind of getting the lay of the land and figuring out how it all works. But now I'm on the HR committee too, and that's been few meetings.
nothing else?
No, that's all I got.
Okay, May 28th, we had our committee meeting and our council meeting, and on the 29th, I attended the past graduation. It was more of like an awards thing, it wasn't the actual graduation, because they'll graduate with the rest of the kids and go to the gala and everything, so. But there were a number of speakers who brought greetings to the 42 graduates that went through that program. There were at least a couple of people from our municipality, and I know that there was one young fellow from Broken Head that spoke, and he did an awesome job of bringing greetings and talking about the program and things like that, so it was really good. May 30th, the Activity Center, we all talked about that already. The 31st, I had a WMR meeting. It was just a Zoom meeting, and it was mostly to discuss the changes made to the Plan 2050 and preparing for first reading, which is happening later this week. And then there'll be some open houses, 2 of them, one in the city of Winnipeg and one in Niverville, because it was supposed to be one inside the city, one outside the city, so they chose Niverville. I have those dates, and I can give them to you later. They're in my phone, I know for sure, so. And then May 31st also, I have Selkirk District Community Foundation. They had their nominating meeting. There were 2 vacant seats on the board, and one of the vacant ones was a resident of our municipality, had been on the board for a couple of years. Her name escapes me. She was their treasurer, and she was finished her term, so. This year, there were only 2 names put forward, so they have both been confirmed and are now members of the Selkirk District Community Foundation, and they are Wendy Meager, who is from Home Hardware. She's now on there, and another fellow, Ryan Werbecki, and he was on the board for 1 year, and he had to relocate for his job, and now he's back here, and he's still very interested, so his name was put forward, so he's now on the board. The 1st of June, the Selkirk Marine Museum 50th anniversary. It was a very nice event, and Mr. Bazan was there, the MLA, I don't remember his name. Richard Pershot was there, and actually one of the provincial ministers was there also. So it was a nice event. It was, rather like it was in the morning, so it was just kind of cake and coffee and ribbon cutting. And
Did they have any pictures of them pulling the ships up?
no,
Oh, that would have been cool,
I know.
because they're around.
Yeah. I think they're gonna try and put something together like that will be available online that you can see. What they are working towards is building a building, not sure where or anything, to house all those ships, so they will, they kind of want to have it.
Like a big building over top, what's there?
No, I'm not sure where the building is gonna be, but they want to get the building, or the boats out of the elements.
They want to move all those boats at that museum to another location?
I think so, yes.
That
That's how it sounded to me. I'm not 100% sure.
is interesting. If that's the plan, and I'm sure anybody can do anything you want engineering-wise, but it was a feat as a child watching them pull those up with 3 cats at a time and cables snapping. Those things are heavy. I don't know how you're gonna move them.
That's the plan anyways. Go ahead, plan.
During the flood.
I said, float them across and put them where the ambulance was.
Yeah, do that too, so. But no, it was actually very nice, so I'm glad that I went. Councillor Strang was actually there too, so. And then June 5th to the 9th, I was at FCM, and I put on my report for today, better report for next meeting. Because I didn't have time yesterday when I got home to put anything too much together. There were some good study tours. I went on one, and that's the one thing that I kind of found odd, because you were only allowed to book 1 study tour. And so many filled up right away that, by the time I went to register, I didn't have much choice of which ones. And they were very repetitive, like some of them were, we were there for 4 days, and the same study tour was all 4 days. Maybe different times, but.
Some got canceled too.
And some got canceled because of the water. Again, we're talking about the water. But all in all, I thought it was a pretty good conference. Lots of networking done with lots of different people, so. And that's all I have.
Just
Go ahead, Glenn.
wanted to add one thing to it. They've got, there's about 10 lots, I guess, of just bars bars and restaurants and shops and stuff. And there must have been a couple hundred scooters there. You just hit them with your card and go, and they got a helmet with them.
Oh, cool.
And people were running them all over the place,
Yeah.
up and down, up and down. And for the week for us, guys were saying it was $25 to get around one.
Great.
And they
Yeah.
actually had a promo at the trade show for them too.
And there was that, I guess it was about 3-block area that the street was actually closed off to traffic most of the time. So you had people walking all over the place. Like, it was really cool because there's lots of patios.
And Buckster's, lots of entertainment, very
Yeah.
talented people.
Yeah, so it was very interesting. Go ahead, Scott.
So are you guys telling us about your study tour that you attended?
No, that'll be for the next meeting. I don't have anything else. Deepak.
May 28th was the council meeting. May 27th, just because I hadn't reported on it, was my meeting with the CAO, of St. Andrews, to talk about planning for water and other projects like the library. And May 29th was was that her?
29?
No, I guess, when was the presentation to the activity center?
30th.
30th was the presentation to the activity center, and then I was away for the remainder of the time, and then June 7th or 6th to the 10th, I was at FCM. Looked at several different things. One of those is I did spend a fair amount of time. We could talk about all the other items, and I think council's already, or other council members have updated you on what happened at FCM. But I did have a good conversation with Catalyst, which is our provider for our services here, and especially for service requests, and they made some significant changes in the service request area, which is really good customer service, and those are significant enough changes where it's automated a lot more, and they're also looking at integrating AI with it, as I wanted. And so I've set up a meeting for tomorrow, which I've invited Heather and Kevin to participate as part of it, so that we can look at setting it up as a project. So the project manager is excited. I'm excited to put something like that, so we'll be one of the first to take advantage of the new and refined Catalyst software to provide much more interactive responses. So all the things we've talked about, that we've had some challenges bringing in, so automated, like filling out the forms on, so what they can do now is not only online, but on your mobile device while so if you're somewhere, you can just, it'll automatically place a pin location and all those things as to where you are, which is filling in your automated information, as well as we receive the request, then it automatically emails back, and then when we deal with it, it also will take care of responding back in a telephone, text, and emails, similar to our Connect program. So what that gives us an ability is that when something is done, you can send back, you can reply back, send a message back. So a staff member's completed the service request, then the message can be sent back to the resident by an automated program saying this is what the resolution of the program solution is. We'll obviously have to work out what those messages are so that it stays consistent. But one of the other advantages that I really saw out of it was the ability to take a bundle of requests, which is our biggest challenge, has been. As an example, Kevin has provided you an update this morning, so I'm not going to talk a lot about the public works side, but as part of the gravel roads, next step is dust control. So we'll probably receive several different messages on dust control. An example of that could be that we take that, all of those requests, so let's say there's 20 of them, if related with dust control in a particular area. As soon as that area is done, we can have an automated message going back to all those people saying, dust control has been completed in your area, please let us know if you haven't received it.
Good
So
idea.
there can be some more interactive, better ways of doing this. So it seems like a good solution. It's not gonna take away from the need to still communicate with people by phone, but what it's doing is it's now a value-added program that we can certainly take advantage of. So we're meeting, so the meeting is tomorrow afternoon on that, and then hopefully I'll have a process to get started. I told them I wanted to get started as soon as possible. And the other is I had the meeting with the mayor and the CAO of the Armis East St. Paul. So the CAO of the Armis East St. Paul is willing to look at reducing or eliminating the cost of the recreation expense. I said, let's be fair. Like, I think we owe something if we need to, but it can't be what it is, because it's just, we can't determine what
It's not
that is.
substantiated.
Exactly.
Well, it's
Thank you.
no out of the end.
Yeah.
And so explained the situation, the CAO, she understood that situation, so she's very clear on that. We're also looking at developing some more integrated approaches to working together between us and East St. Paul. The other is that we're going to look at, Kevin had just contacted them, and I'll be meeting with her on that, and which was we're planning to do some work on coronation and to see if they participate on the work on the coronation and do cost sharing. I think they're willing to look at that. And they definitely want to meet as soon as possible, so I'll be looking to set up a meeting between the two councils.
I was gonna ask you that. I think we have a lot to discuss with them on all kinds of utilities that you have brought up over the number of months that we need to get solidified, and somewhat of a nod that they're willing to work with us, because there's so much we can do looking at that border that's coming futuristically, both sewer, water, on and on and on. And it'd be just nice to sit down with council to council. This is what we want to do. We're a bordering municipality with you. It only makes sense, but it just seems like this, not sure of which way they want to go, and I just need more clarity.
Well, they're definitely very interested in sewer. Water right now, they're pretty strong, and we're quite a distance away.
No, we
There
are.
might be an opportunity for us to bring water from the south up, if need be, depending on our needs. I think getting into a commitment on service sharing overall is a great step forward for our two communities there, and then the two communities for us in the St. Andrews on the other side. Just so you know, it was brought up to me by several individuals, including City of Winnipeg councilors, who know about our water sharing agreement. So they were impressed and surprised and happy that we were working together, and that was a discussion not only with the councilors, also with the mayor from Winnipeg. So I think we're headed in the right direction.
Perhaps we could have a lunch
Yep.
meeting with East St. Paul, a lunch get together.
Yes, I can. I promised the mayor was ready to meet tomorrow. So the mayor's ready, and I talked to some of the councilors that are interested, but there wasn't enough of them there to be able to talk with all of them. So what I'll do is I'll contact Suzanne, the CAO, and have her coordinate something with her council, and then we can pick out a date that makes sense for all of us to attend. But we want to make sure that both sides, all councils are there. That'll be the critical point. Beyond that,
What is
there's
their council date, sorry?
their council date,
Date.
I
day,
think it's the same as ours.
Same as ours.
Tuesday, so make it a Tuesday, like ours.
yeah.
Tuesday, beginning of next month? Or is that a holiday thing on next month?
Yeah, but usually that council meetings are public.
July
Yeah,
1st is the
so this will be an
holiday.
in-camera kind of discussion.
Well, if it's holiday thing, it would only be the one at the end of the month.
But if we both have meetings similar time, and we're done by 4,
Yep, yep,
have the meeting afterwards.
Yeah.
yep, we'll figure something out. I'll try to make sure that we can try to take advantage of them. I'm, aware that we have part-time counselors on both sides and they have other commitments. The other side of this, that there was another significant discussion, and we'll be discussing it in more detail with you, but it will be coming out of camera for resolution, which was a discussion around, and I went and talked to multiple municipalities and sent out an email about the issues related with gravel roads and this year's winter and spring issues, and to claim it as a DFA, to get AMM to lobby for us. AMM Vice President Saluk and others have agreed, and we're going to be passing a resolution to that regard. I'll speak to it more with council in camera so that we can have it all ready, and then we can pass a resolution to do a request for DFA support for that.
Good one.
And
I
that'll
can
be
thank
going,
someone who brought it to my attention.
and that'll be
That would
going,
be Customer Spicer.
oh, okay, and that'll be going to, our district meeting next week, correct?
No, it doesn't need to go to the district meeting. As soon as the
Oh, okay.
resolutions are done, we're going straight to AMM because we didn't meet the timeline for the district meetings. There'll be an opportunity to have further discussion with the various councils at the district meeting. So this will be a resolution that's going directly to AMM, asking them to proceed regardless
Okay,
of, because June district meeting is the resolutions that then will come eventually over to the
Right.
AMM
In November.
in November. We
So
can't wait
this
that long.
is more emergent.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
Getting a little bit ahead of it, if we do put that in, we should put that road that goes from Patricia Beach to Macomb on there. Try and get that through.
yeah,
We'll
that would be
discuss that
good.
in camera.
Yeah,
Pardon me?
in camera, we'll discuss where we're gonna see if we can get some monies. Go ahead, Councilor Boulanger.
No, I was just gonna ask the CEO if he could give us an update, if he has any in camera on anything with Edge Corp.
Sure.
Okay, anything else? Deepak?
That's it.
Okay, Heather, do you have anything you want to share with us today? Okay, so then I guess we can have a resolution to move in camera, please.
Resolved, council recess the regular meeting and go into in-camera to discuss legal and personnel issues. And further be it resolved that all matters discussed are to remain confidential as per section 83(1)(d) of the Municipal Act.
Can I have a mover, please? Councilor Corbett, second, Councilor Sutherland. Any further discussion? Question? All in favor? Opposed? Carried.